What is calcification? Calcification is a process that any person or organization or anything really can go through in which you become hardened. You might start with a beautiful intention, a beautiful idea, and take steps towards fulfilling that. You do fulfill it, and then you get away from the original intention, away from the original why did you start doing this thing in the first place. And you begin to become hardened and rigid. Calcification is like a seashell, it's like it just gets this really hard shell on the outside, and so nothing changes from that point on. You just keep doing the same things the same way over and over and over again. Um, I just had a picture of my grandfather pop into my head. He's been doing the same thing over and over and over again for 40, yeah, longer than I've been alive. He goes to work every single day at the same time. He eats at the same times every day. He pays the bills in the same way. They sit beside him. It's just obsessive compulsive, behaviors because you have gotten away from the why. Um, this happens in organizations as well. During the classroom call, I kind of had a little PTSD because he mentioned organizations, and in my mind, and businesses. In my mind, franchises it came to my mind immediately, because he said in an organization of 10,000 people, 100 of them are doing the work. It's a square root theory, and the rest of them are just following along, doing what they're told, basically. And if you've ever been into a McDonald's, you know exactly what you mean. There's one manager that might have a little inspiration in them, that might still have a spark, but the rest of them are just doing what they're told because the handbook said so. There's no connection to why we exist. Um, I worked for Chick-fil-A for, I don't know, only about 8 weeks maybe, because I really couldn't handle it. Because I walked in and just saw so many things. It's like, why are you doing this way? Why are you cutting it this way? This could be done in a third of the time. This could be, all of these different things, but we literally were not allowed to change the way to do things because it's a franchise and because everything must be done exactly the way that it's supposed to be done. And so that's an example of calcification, and it really results from getting away from that, losing your connection to the source of why you began this process, why you started this process. Um, I wanted to share an example from nature that also came to my mind, which was of a coral polyp. Normally it's floating around, and when it's first born, it's floating around in the ocean until it lands on a hard surface. And then it literally begins to calcify. It starts to build its little home, and it turns into these little coral polyps, little coral shells, essentially. And it never moves again for the rest of its life, for as long as it lives. That coral polyp is stuck in the same place. And that's literally an example of calcification from nature. So that's what it means to calcify, and you can avoid it by staying connected to your why, being open, and being willing to um, change the how, change the way you're accomplishing something in order to stay connected to your why.